I think that portraying drama on stage, creating theater on stage is one of the most fascinating, inspiring, thrilling, breathtaking, phenomenal things that a person can do. It's the study of humanity, and not just studying it, but actually acting it out, and examining humanity in an even more dramatic way than real life. So humanity with more drama, humanity with a comic slant. What does it mean to be a human being on planet Earth? What does it mean to struggle? What does it mean to triumph? What does it mean to overcome incredible obstacles and to succeed or to fail? It's looking at life under a microscope in front of an audience, and it's incredibly thrilling. I don't think that there's anything else that I've ever done or ever wanted to do that is as rewarding as theater, except maybe being a parent. I have no memory of wanting to ever do anything else. If anyone had ever asked me when I was a child what I wanted to do, it was always to be an actress, to be in the theater. And I think I probably discovered that through taking ballet classes and through performing in ballet, in dance. I liked ballet. Ballet was okay, but it was the performance that was really, really thrilling. Whenever we got to perform, I thought that that was just the most fun part of ballet class, was the performance. And I also had parents who were artists. My mother is a painter, and my stepfather has a passion for photography and went to the New York School of Visual Arts when he was a young man. So they were always constantly taking me to theater and other various forms of art. And I just chose theater. Theater was just my favorite thing to do. And they got me season tickets to the Sacramento Theater Company because we lived outside of Sacramento when I was growing up. And so we went to see many, many plays there. And my most favorite, I think, while I was growing up as a child, watching at the Sacramento Theater Company was Much Ado About Nothing, because the characters were so funny and yet sympathetic and funny and dramatic at the same time. I loved that play. I loved Beatrice and Benedict. I thought they were just fantastic characters. So it was through lots of exposure to the arts as a young person, and through performing, actually getting a chance to perform, and then through my parents encouraging me, that I discovered that that's what I wanted to do. Oh, I think that theater is so important today. I think it's even more important today than it ever has been at any other time, perhaps in history. And I know that's a huge statement, but I think that people really need to come together and bond as audiences of live theatrical performances. I think it can teach people social skills. It's incredibly thrilling and far more exciting to watch a live performance because it is live. It's people right in front of you going on some sort of emotional journey, making you laugh, making you cry right in front of you. It's human contact. It's social. I think, and that's one of the reasons that I think The Bug, the play that I'm directing right now, is so fascinating, is that it's all about computers and technology and how they dominate our lives, which I think is great. I'm on the computer all the time, and I love the wonderful resource that technology is today. But I think because of our sort of obsession with computers at the moment, we need to, and probably for the rest of all eternity, we do need to still work on our social skills and on coming together as a community and talking to people face to face rather than Skyping, or rather than instant messaging people, or what have you. I think it's socialization and social contact and face to face interaction is really important in today's world, and I think that theater helps people do that. It helps people think about humanity. It helps people think about communication. It helps people think about triumphs and struggles, and brings people together and makes people laugh and cry. And that's what the world needs now more than ever before. I think the world really needs theater. I think that comedy probably is harder than drama. I think it's a really wonderful pursuit. It's just a fabulous, fabulous thing to be able to make people laugh. It's so uplifting, and it's so just energizing and so cathartic at the same time, making a group of people laugh. And comedy is tricky. You know, the timing of comedy is delicate, or can be delicate. Comedy's faster than drama. Drama is slower. And yes, I think it's easier to make people cry than it is to make people laugh, because it just is. It's, you know, we've all struggled. We've all had difficulties. No one's life is completely without struggle. So we can empathize with people. Finding out what is going to make an audience laugh can be tricky. I think, well, The Bug, the play that I'm directing right now, is a farce, which means the plot is improbable. It's set in an office where a computer has taken over. It's a large corporation that a computer is running. He's the CEO, and his name is Mr. Mark Kropp, and that probably will never happen, although you never know. In today's world, it's not possible. I've said it 5 years in the future, but I think it's still, you know, obviously it's improbable. So elements of farce are an improbable plot. The characters are more important than the plot. It's really fast-paced. Sometimes there's mistaken identity, and the characters are relatively exaggerated, sort of stereotypical characters. There's an element of ridiculousness in comedy. There's an element of surprise. Absolutely, comedy should be surprising. What other things are funny? Inappropriate behavior is funny, when people behave inappropriately or make mistakes, like the comedy of errors, you know, the classic comedy of errors. When people mess up or make mistakes or fumble. Lots of other things to think about when working on a comedy. Breaking the rules, something we were just talking about. You always see in films and sometimes plays, a pregnant woman rushing on her way to the hospital ready to have a baby. And it's always this comic scene where they're breaking all the traffic rules. You know, we're running through stop signs, we're speeding, we're breaking all the rules of the road because this woman is in labor and is going to have a baby. And it's funny that we're breaking all these rules. What else? Enlightenment and ignorance. Elements of farce can include the audience being in on a joke that the characters don't know about, the audience having some information that the characters don't. And in The Bug, the audience knows that Mark Kropp is a computer, the president of the corporation is a computer, but the characters don't know that. They figure it out at the end, but throughout the play they don't know it. Even though some of them are taking on computer characteristics. They're actually, in my production, they are wearing Bluetooth earphones, which have a wire that's connected to their temple, and they are slowly being taken over by the computer. So their movements are somewhat mechanical, and their voice sometimes goes into computer voice. May I help you? Things like that. Not all the time. They're not always like that. Yes, so that element that the audience is in on a joke that the characters don't know about, but that they discover. That's an element of comedy. What else? Frustrated ambition can be funny, like the classic Wile E. Coyote, where he's trying to get the Roadrunner and he never does, but he always keeps trying and he tries really hard every time. And there's an element of that in this comedy, because Dennis Post, the lead character, he doesn't want to get transferred to St. Louis, he doesn't want to get fired, and then he doesn't want to get killed. but he really does want a promotion, and he works really hard for that, and that's funny. What else? Definitely, I think the element of surprise is part of comedy, and the pace is so important. Comedy tends to be faster than drama. In a drama, you want the events of the play to sort of slowly sink in and have a great impact. Whereas in comedy, if the audience gets the joke before the joke is told, it's not funny. So you can't telegraph that there's a joke coming. It just has to happen. And you have to surprise them. So yeah. Lots of differences between drama and comedy, definitely.